There are two guiding forces in life. One of them is your heart, your emotions, your feelings, your instincts, your intuition, your inner voice, and your inner guidance. And the other one is your mind, your logic, your just logical thinking part of your brain. And these forces are usually clashing when it comes to which one you have to follow in your life when you're trying to make a decision. So the logic is usually the preconceptions and all the beliefs that we have gathered from our environment, from our experiences, and from previous traumatic experiences that make us feel like, oh, it's not safe to trust my heart and my emotions, because if I do that, I will get hurt. I need to be thinking what to do right and just do everything according to plan, according to strategy, and just completely ignore and mute my heart and my intuition. And the problem with this is that when you get to choose one or the other of these guiding forces and you decide to make your life being guided just by one, you are going to create an imbalance which is going to be reflected in your life. If you're a person that only uses logic and doesn't follow instincts of his heart, of his inner guidance, then those instincts are going to slowly stop trying to communicate and stop trying to send you signs for you, because they know that you're not going to listen to them. And therefore, by doing that, like, you can hack life just by using logic. Logic can only take you so far, but there's so many circumstances that the thing that is going to push you over the edge is intuition. And if you watch like the lives of so many successful people, they had a combination of both logic and their heart. And on the other side, if you're a person that only follows your heart and your emotions and your intuition, there are certain times where you are going to be required to use your logic and to use your logical mind in order to progress and move forward. You can use your heart and your intuition for everything. Sometimes the mind is the most capable and most right force for that situation or for that circumstance. So I find that the best thing you can do is to create a balance inside of you where you're able to listen both of these guiding forces and allow them to guide you through life in a balanced way, because that's what is going to push you forward the most. A lot of people ignore their inner guidance and their intuition and their inner calling telling them things to them, and intuition never lies. There's so many things that our mind can't see and our mind can understand and can perceive, and our heart is usually the one that gets to receive energetic signals, whether that is from around us that are unspoken and that can perceive things beyond like logical confines of the mind. Your heart has the ability to perceive more energy and more information, because it's not just thinking of the things that your mind is using your past experiences to filter information out and to make its decisions. I've seen this in my life, so that means that I have to do this and this in order to handle this situation. But your heart doesn't take information from the past. Your heart takes information from a bigger source of like consciousness and a bigger field of information that allows it to see more and feel more. I think that a lot of us, we've lost this connection with our intuition and with our heart, and we don't know how to connect with it, because every time we had our heart trying to communicate with us and trying to speak with us and give us like signs, we have ignored it, we have muted. We were like, but no, that can't be true, like how could this be true? And somehow we find out at one way or another that by listening to that advice, you will have actually gotten what you wanted. And this also relates to every possible area in our life, because when you're using logic, a lot of the times is because you ignore your heart's guidance, right? So by using logic, a lot of the times you end up on the wrong path, and not the path that is the most right for you, but is what is most right by society standards, by your logical mind. And we see so many examples of people that make it, and inside of them they feel like a fraud, they feel like an imposter, and they feel like, I should be feeling happy, I should be feeling fulfilled, and I worked so hard to get here. Why am I not feeling this? Why am I not feeling that I did the right thing? And the reason for that is because they followed the logic, they followed the straight path of what they thought they should have done, but that doesn't mean that was the path of their heart. The path of their heart wouldn't have been so straightforward, and most of the times is not even right by society standards. Most of the times you look a little bit cuckoo by following the path of your heart, because you don't even know where it's taking you, this path. You just have to trust that by following this inner voice, even though that inner voice is not giving you much, you trust it that is going to guide you one step at a time. And we as humans don't like this uncertainty. We like to have control, and we like to know where we're going. Otherwise, we feel very insecure and very unsafe. And so following the path of logic and knowing which steps are in front of you to follow just makes us feel like we have a bit more control with our life. But that doesn't guarantee you that you are going to be happy in this life. And that's the price with following logic. You get to know where you're going, but you don't get to feel fulfilled by it. You don't get to feel happy with it because you didn't take the risk. You didn't take the leap of faith where you didn't know where you were going. You were just following a structured plan. You were just following what you were supposed to do, but never what you felt like you should have done. And so many times, like, logic baits us and makes us think that you will be crazy not to follow this choice. You will be crazy not to choose this option and choose this stable career and try to risk all of this for something that is unknown and uncertain, and you don't even know if it's ever going to give you the results that you want. And there's so many ways that logic literally uses logic to convince us that listening to the mind is absurd and listening to the mind won't lead us to where we want. But the thing is, if you follow logic in situations where logic doesn't have a right to be there, then you are 100% certain that you are going to be unfulfilled. You have this 50% chance, even this 1% chance, where you are gonna get what you want, that your dream is possible and it could become your reality. But that's by following your heart. And by following the path of your heart, you have that 1% even possibility to achieve that. But by following your logic, you're 100% certain that you're not. If you genuinely feel that being on this path is what you want, you will feel 100% certainty. There will be no need for logic to come and to convince you that this is what I should do. You will feel it with both your heart and your mind. And there are circumstances where logic, the circumstances that I'm talking about, where logic doesn't have a right to speak. It's circumstances that your soul needs to speak. And therefore your heart is the one that has to guide you there. And those are circumstances like choosing the right person for you. That is pure instinct and pure heart guidance. And there are a lot of times where we think that it's the heart choosing people that are wrong for us, but it's actually our trauma and our toxic trauma bonds that attract us and make us feel attracted to a person that is not right for us. And that's why it's important to do the inner work, so you're certain that what you're choosing is the right person for you. And the more times you get to follow your heart and you allow that inner instinct to become strong and to know when is that inner instinct speaking and not anything else, the more experiences you have where you allow that inner instinct to speak and it guides you down the path where is right for you, and it has proved healthy for you, and it has proved fulfilling for you and joyful for you, the more you're able to trust that when that inner instinct comes and inner guidance comes, you can listen to it and you can trust it, that even if you're scared, it's going to lead you down the right path. And yeah, those circumstances where your logic shouldn't be speaking is like choosing which partner, choosing not career, but choosing your purpose in life, choosing the thing that is going to, that you feel like you're destined to come here and help people with, and the thing that truly makes you happy to do, the thing that you could spend hours doing and it will feel like great, like I just felt like just some time passed. It's the thing that nobody can decide but you. You are the only person that can decide that, and no logic and no societal push and no societal guidance is going to be right to make that decision for you. No matter how far you've are in your path, where you have followed logic until now in your life and you think that I've lost that inner guidance inside of me and it became so silent and I don't know if it even exists anymore. If you're able to feel that, that means that inner guidance is still there and it's still fighting for you. And that inner guidance, no matter how loud, is not anymore, and how it became more silent because you have ignored it so many times, it will still be there no matter how far you've come. And it will wait for you to give her the microphone and to allow her to speak and to be heard of. And it doesn't matter how absurd you think that voice inside of you is, you have to allow it to guide you and trust that where it's going to guide you is going to be to your highest good. And the thing is about the wrong path, that no matter how far you try, no matter how hard you try to take yourself on this wrong path that is not for you, it will only lead you so far. And that's why so many people say that you have to love what you do, because if you doing something that you're just doing it for the money or for the image or the prestige, and because you have to do it, and you're up against somebody that is doing that because he loves that thing, then that person will go far beyond than you will ever do, no matter if your effort is unmatched to his, because what he has to do is effortless. What he is doing is effortless, and what you're doing is full of effort, you have to push yourself to go somewhere that is not meant to be your path. And that's how you need to know that effort is and trying hard is a sign that something is not meant for you. Whether that's a relationship that you're trying too hard to fix, to try to make that person see you, to try to make that person love you, whether that's a job or a career, whether like no matter how hard you try to make that thing work and you push yourself and you put a lot of effort and you put a lot of energy into it, if that thing is not meant for you and it's not the right path for you, you will find a lot of resistance. And the right path for you doesn't have resistance. Things just happen like effortlessly and so not easily necessarily, but just without any resistance. You're not facing any walls, and that's your sign that something is for you. Whether a person is right for you, that person is going to be in your life no matter what things is standing in its way. If that person is right for you, all of the universe is going to conspire to make that person be in your life effortlessly, and he will or she will be effortlessly in your life, because you don't need, when it comes to things that of the heart and the things of your soul, those things you don't need to force them. They're there because there's love, and they're there because they're right for you. They're a match for you because that's the thing. There's love there. There is this like force that is connecting you, and that's with the relationships. That person has like this feeling of love and the potential of great love being there. And when it comes to career and like your purpose and your passion, there is love there. You have this attraction and connection to that thing that you can't explain, and you feel so drawn to it. And even though it doesn't make a logical sense to want that thing, you are still desiring it. And that is also a great sign that this thing is meant for you. Because if you think about it, we are brought onto this earth and we have infinite possibilities of what we could choose to do with our lives. There are infinite amount of opportunities, of possibilities of what you can do with your life, or where you can head in your life, and what you can become. And yet we as people only use one thing to find what is our calling, to find what is the right thing for us, the right person, the right environment. And that is our inner feeling and our inner guidance. And that is also desire. We feel an attraction and we feel this desire that is compelling, so compelling to go towards that thing or that person. And that is how we get to decide in life what is right for us. I mean, we could literally do anything. You could become a firefighter, you could become an IT guy, you can become a hairdresser, you can become a nail technician, you can become a witch, you can become anything you want if you think about it. Like, there's so many infinite potential. You can literally have infinite possibilities of where you can take your life. Whether you're a girl or a guy, or whether you're rich or you're poor, those same possibilities are still there for you. Maybe they're harder, but they're still there for you. But usually the things that we desire are the things that are for us. And they are our indication, and they are the signal that this is the thing that is for you. And the more right it feels, and the more effortless it is, and the less resistant there is to this path, the more you know that thing is right for you, and the more you understand that this is part of your path. And you wouldn't, for example, have this feeling if it wasn't possible for you. You wouldn't have this compelling desire and attraction towards something if it wasn't possible for you. So the fact that you desire something and your inner guidance is telling you go for this, that means that person or that thing or that career path is a possibility for you. That means there's a timeline where you have achieved that, where you are with that person, where you have become that person that you want to become. And so you shouldn't let logic in this situation to prevail and tell you, oh, but this is so hard, I could never become that, I could never be with him or with her. You are meant to listen to that inner guidance and to trust and to believe that just by wanting something and desiring something, it means that it also desires me back. It means that it's possible for me, and it means that I can have that. I can go down that timeline and I can have that desire become my reality. And a lot of times people end up making choices one after the other that is based on logic, and they end up settling in their life. And where do you stop? That's the problem. Where do you stop? If you settled on the person that you are going to be with, if you settle with the career that you have in your life, if you settle with the place that you are, where does it stop? Where is the limit to that? Because then you are going to become a victim of your own life. You're going to create a life that is full of choices that come out of logic, and therefore come out of a smaller version of what you could have become. And that is not your destiny. Just because this is where you experience is because this is what you accepted that is possible for you. There's so much more that is possible for you, but you have to believe in it first. You have to have faith and trust in your desire to have more in your life. And if you keep settling and you keep following that logic, it will never lead you to that higher path for you, because you didn't even trust that it's a possibility for you. So first of all, you need to take take the risk. You need to believe in yourself that just by desiring more, I can have it. And no matter how hard it can be sometimes, if it's meant for you, life is going to slowly and effortlessly guide you there. Effortlessly doesn't mean that there are not going to be moments of challenge, doesn't mean that there are not going to be moments where you feel like things are too hard and you want to quit. But there's going to be this voice inside of you that is going to tell you to keep going and to keep trying and to have faith, to take one more step and to get so you can understand and see clearly where you're going. And even if you can't see where you're going and you don't know if this will even lead to something, if you trust it, it will lead you somewhere even better. And don't create a life where you just become a victim of your own choices. Don't become a victim of your logic. And when it comes to matters of the heart, let the heart decide. When it comes to matters of the mind, let the mind decide. If you decide, for example, I'm going to take this path for my career, this is where that choice should be made from your heart. But when it comes to coming down with a strategy on making this career work and the steps that you need to follow, that's where you allow logic and your mind to come in and help you to create that in this reality. So in any other aspect, when it comes to matters of the heart, your heart should speak and not logic. You should never get into a relationship out of reason and out of logic and out of your mind. And you should never choose your calling and your career and your path based on logic and based on what your mind is telling you is the right thing to do. You should always give the microphone to your heart when it comes to those things, and to trust that even though you are taking a big risk that you don't know where this leads, if your heart is guiding you towards something and you desire that thing with your heart and your soul, then that thing is available for you and is meant for you to believe in it first and to take one step at a time to get there. And it's never too late to get out of this wrong path that is not meant for you. You have learned your lesson, and this is what you should take from it. You shouldn't see that I've wasted so many years, therefore if I quit now I'm a failure to other people. It's about not becoming a failure to yourself. These people at the end of the day, at some point, they're not gonna be here. They're not gonna be here telling you good job that you sacrificed your desires to achieve what society told you or what I approved. But you're going to be there, and you're going to be 80 and you're going to be sitting on a rocking chair, and you are going to be looking back into your life and you're going to be like, I could have chosen something that would have made me feel fulfilled, that would have made me look back into my life and made me feel like I made the right choices, no matter how risky they were. And the higher the risk, the higher the reward. And I'm glad I listened to my heart, and I'm glad I'm tried to listen to my intuition and to my feelings, because they guided me to somewhere that I didn't know, and I couldn't have predicted where I will end up just by listening to my heart. And I'm certain you would rather be that 80-year-old person that looks back and feels fulfilled and feels okay with taking the risk, because not taking the risk is going to leave this mark on you and this gap inside of you of what if. And I'm sure when you're 80, you would rather have tried and failed rather than being with this question mark of what could have happened. So this is your sign today to listen to your heart, to allow your heart to take the mic and to allow your heart to guide you in this life, no matter where you are in life, no matter how many years you have sacrificed and how much energy you put down on a path that wasn't meant for you. What is important is for you to listen to your heart now and to trust that nothing is in vain, and everything that has happened has given you a lesson that you can still carry with you, and it has given you information of where that is giving you information and more clarity of where you're headed and what do you do want. That's the thing about trying things that end up becoming things that you don't want in your life, and they end up being things that are not meant for you. Those things give you so much clarity of what things you don't want in your life, and they give you so much understanding that you are able then to use them to refine your vision and to refine what you actually desire. And this is what I spoke about in the last video on about getting specific with things that you do want in your life, and allow lessons to teach you what you do want, and not just settle just because that's what you have. Life is a game of refinement, and is a game of listening to your heart and making your heart's desires clearer and clearer in order to create and attract the vision that you have for yourself. There's so many infinite possibilities of what you could achieve, and if you decided I want to become a doctor, you could have made this a reality, right? So the reason that you haven't done that is because there's something inside of you that is not in the slightest attracted to that reality, and therefore that tells you that there is something inside of me that is telling me that there is this thing inside of me that my inner guidance wants me to do. If there is this thing that I completely don't want, then if there is this thing that I completely don't want, if there's this a number of things that I don't want to pursue in my life, then there is this number of things that I do want to pursue in my life. And I want to use my desire as the map, as the thing that is going to guide me towards these things that are going to make me fulfilled, and towards those things that are right for me. And that is your map to this life, to be able to listen to your heart for the big things. And I hope this video helped you. I hope this served as your sign, if you needed one, to listen to your heart and to listen to that inner guidance, and to give it more power than you do already if you're not listening, to give it more power, to not underestimate it, and to trust in it, and trust in his ability to take you where you want. Because if one thing is able to do that, that's your heart. If one thing is able to take you closer to your desires, is the tool that told you what you desire, is the thing that told you what I desire. So you should use that as a map and as the way to guide you to your desire, because you can't have this inner desire from your heart and use your mind to get to that thing. You need to use your heart to get to that thing, and use your mind where it's appropriate. So that's it for today, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this served as your sign. And if you have any questions about this topic, I would love to answer them for you. So leave them down in the comments. If you have any questions, and if you have any things that you would want more insight on, please let me know, and I could make a video on it. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.